So here's my Glock 44 after ring review. I'm probably about to clean it right now, so I've put around almost 700 rounds through it so far. As you can see, looks like a 9mm pistol, which it is, but in reality, it's just this. It's just the Glock 44. Now, it's a little dirty just because of these right here, ports. But other than that, not too dirty, but I'll still clean it for you guys. So, I will start cleaning it, and well, I don't think it should be too dirty, but I'll go ahead and do it now. Not too bad. These right here I have on here are these just buffers, so just some buffers I put on there to help with the recoil. Just throw those in there for now. Now this is just the Glock 44 frame with the locking block I modified. That trigger bar I had to cut a little bit right here. So as you can see right there on the trigger bar, if I can get a good look. Yeah. So right here on the trigger bar, I ground that down just a bit so it could fit with this. Now the barrel was locking up like that. See? It's not too much of an issue, but I just had to cut it down a little bit. So I did put a Gen 3 on here. I did bend it just a little bit to get more out of it. Other than that, it's pretty much a Glock 44, converted to a 9mm, I guess you could say. So I'll be taking this apart and showing you every part that I've modified personally. So now this works pretty alright with this for some reason. I would think that this would block it. Yeah, I would think that that would block it somehow, but it doesn't, which is amazing. As you can see, Glock 44. And I just cut this. Now see. That's just a Glock 19 locking block I modified. So it can fit with that. So there's just that part. That's the part I modified. And yeah, well, it works. It works pretty good. Glock 19 trigger bar or well, 44, but I had to cut that just a bit. Other than that, it's pretty much a Glock 19 trigger bar. With this, the connector, the housing, the ejector is Gen 3, but modified a little bit, bent. You can use Gen 4s. You could also use Gen 5 Glock 19 trigger bars, which, if you want to spend more, you can. I don't really care. Pretty dirty. Gen 5 recoil spring works alright with it, so. This slide I bought for around $280, $250. Not bad. Not the best, but not bad. It works. So with all these parts, you'd be looking at, I think, $25 maybe around all these parts. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, just a little bit of dirt. Well, carbon, but yeah. The Glock 19 ported barrel, pretty much gonna get this dirty every time, so. Looking into getting a threaded barrel for my Glock. I found a really good place, but I'm not really sure if they're good. The barrels look nice. That's the frame clean, pretty much. And with this light, it's just the Braun from Harbor Freight. So you guys can pick this up for like $50. Not bad. I would recommend it. If you're looking for weapon light, you probably want this. 1000 lumens. Personally, I think it works better than the Streamlight maybe. Not exactly sure. I don't really have one to test it with, but it seems brighter in some ways. So yeah. All these parts pretty much cost, I think, $25, but I need to recheck that. And if you guys are looking into this, trying to make this, you could possibly. Probably be easier with the CNC machine. So all I did was I cut this off, and since this isn't rounded, this part right here isn't rounded, I rounded that off with the grinders. So it works, you know, fits in the frame, no problem. God dang it. Slippery locking block. See? Fits in the frame. The holes line up. Don't know if you can see that. Try and get that on camera. The holes line up, you can see the other side. So, it works pretty good. After 700 rounds, I believe, I've gone through. So, with this, it's just a Gen 3 slide release I got. I modified. Try and get this sucker off. See if I have a different punch I could use to get that. This one should be skinny enough. Why not? So, this is just the Gen 3 I modified. See if I can clean that up and show you. So this is a Gen 3 I cut just a bit. Works. Doesn't really matter. So. That works pretty fine, you know, barrel locks up against it. So, that'll work. So if anyone has any questions about some of these parts, like the trigger bar being modified right here specifically, it's not really gonna cost you that much since I'm just cutting down some parts. This one I would believe it cost the most just to modify and buy, but you know, it's just locking block. So you could try and do it on your own. Wouldn't suggest it, you know. Probably a bad idea. Why not? But if you want to, you can. I don't see why not. Barrel I believe is gonna be the dirtiest since it's ported, so pretty clean. Rifling on it isn't too great. Let's see if I can get that on camera too. So the rifling on it isn't perfect, but it's better than nothing. And you can see the ports through the barrel too. So these are what kind of gunk up the gun more than, you know, a normal barrel, but I'm not mad that the slide came with that. Everything came with it pretty much. The whole slide, the barrel, the recoil spring. I mean, this was a deal on its own, buying this. So, go try and find me some grease real quick. Be right back. Got my grease here. Copies, you know. Use this punch real quick. Get this all cleaned out right here. Doesn't need to be perfect, you know. It's a Glock. It'll run. So, trying to get on all the parts that have wear and tear on them. So that, the slide, barrel. Sometimes I'll do a locking block, but that's just sometimes. You could do really whatever you want to your Glock. Don't need to have too much of it on there. And yes, I do like putting it right here on these, since it gets right here on these parts that bear the slide release. So yes, it's more or less just everything that wears down I'm putting grease on, just to slow down the wearing on it. Now that all that's done, what I'm gonna do, I don't know if you guys really do this personally, but I'm gonna put grease right here. I'm just gonna rub that in a little bit. And I'm gonna put it around here. Now, like I was saying, it don't need to be perfect, but you know. Now with the trigger bar, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna grab this one. Maybe. So this is just normal Glock 44 parts. All right here. So I did wipe the grease off, so here's all the Glock 44 parts that are in the gun when it has it. So the trigger bar, trigger shoe, connector are all Glock 44. The slide release, Glock 44. Frame is Glock 44, obviously. And pretty much about it. That's all Glock 44, I believe. All the things that are Glock 19. And I'm not going to count the pins as Glock 44 because all pins are the same, pretty much. So all the things that are Glock 19 are right here. This is Glock 19, 19, 19, 19. You know, all of them work exceptionally well for being a 22 pistol frame. Surprisingly, no one's ever come up with this idea. Don't know how no one's come up with it, but you know, if you guys are looking to get your frame converted, I'd be willing to do all the work. You just have to pay me like $5, which I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it more or less to have people have a gun, you know. So yeah, I like having people just talk to me, you know, tell me what their ideas are and try and see if I can figure out a way to do their ideas sometimes. And well, I'm kind of working on my own ideas too. I don't know if any of you would like a Slamfire Mossberg, but you know, I think it'd be neat, so I'm probably gonna work on that too if I can. If not, then you know, oh well. And on my frame, I'm putting grease in the slide bars, you know, whatever you call them. Not really sure. I'd just say they're running on the slide or whatever, but don't really matter. Yeah, I'm putting grease on these since they're pressure bearing parts. They wear easily. Well, not exactly easily, but mine have little wear areas. You can see the copper. A little little bit of copper right there. So, copper, brass, I don't know. But that's pretty much all you gotta do to clean Glock 44. Pretty much the same as any other gun. And no, I'm not gonna put my buffers back into this because I don't really need them right now. So this, believe it or not, slides in there really tight. I mean, it's tight in there. Ain't gonna go nowhere. So, the person who reached out to me asked for Glock 23 slide on their frame, seeing if it would work. Maybe. Personally, you could do it. I don't really care what you put on your gun, what you do with your gun. Having a 40 Smith & Wesson on your slide sounds pretty cool. Personally, I think it would be neat to see. So, if any of you are gonna do that, you know, and put grease on the connector, hold up. If any of you do have a Glock 23 slide you're gonna use with this, I would like to see a video or something about it. I am quite interested to see how it would work. It's a 40 cal and a 22 frame, it'd be kind of hilarious. Now I'm putting the grease here for all you gun people. You already know why. And well, it's for the connector, a wear component, it wears down. Or just to stop all the friction. Why not? So yeah, I'll put it back together and you know. I do like to line up the pin on the back. Some of you people probably don't, so I do like to line it up because I don't want to have my hand grabbing it while it's sticking out. Kind of annoying. Already hurt my knuckle on a Gen 3 shooting it, so not really relevant, but just gotta say it because it's hilarious, I guess. That's the frame back together. I'll put the slide on the frame. Now there will be some oil and grease that get on the back of the slide right here. What I do with that is I usually just grab it and just throw it right back into the gun, you know, right here on the connector area. And well, that's the Glock 4419, I guess. As you can see, where I put that grease before, it's pushing out to these sides right here, and it's pushing on the wear areas. So, there's that. I'll just smooth that out a little bit. And right here in the barrel loop, I put right here grease, and well, see. And well, it's Glock 44. Now if you can see right here. Oop. Sorry. If you can see right there, that's the trigger bar. And the reason why I had to cut it is because the barrel was kind of making contact with it sometimes. See? So when you cock the trigger back, it makes contact with it. It's making contact right there with the barrel, but it doesn't really affect anything too major at all. It works, it functions, it shoots, so. Well, that's the video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments and whatever else you're planning on saying. I don't really care. If you want to give me ideas, you can, I guess. But I'm not going to have money or time to really do much ideas to do. Yeah. Mossberg 500 Slamfire, I might do. Sounds interesting. Might work on it. But who knows. It'll probably be easy, but I'm not exactly sure how easy it would be, considering it's a Mossberg. And well, making a Slamfire Mossberg more dangerous than making a Glock 44 9mm, so. If you guys are interested, you can contact me and I'll try and help you out there. Sometime, maybe, if I'm not too busy or sleeping. Because you guys do contact me at night, and I do see that sometimes. Well, anyway, you guys can try and get all the parts and send me the locking block and your trigger, and I'll modify them and test them and send them back. Yep, well, that's the end of the video. So. Wish I did make more videos shooting this, but too busy shooting it. I guess. Testing, shooting. So, see you guys next time, I guess. Hopefully. Anyway. Have a good day, guys.